Let's stay in South Africa. Let's talk about the couple reforms are coming out of South Africa. Most significant, maybe the land reform. There's been a lot of talk about the land reform. If you remember, Zimbabwe did the same thing in 2000, and it ended up the wrong way. The implementers of that land reform just did everything possible to make sure the thing doesn't work. What South Africa is going through, could it be something that they have to avoid, or it's something that along the way might cause problems?
Right. One of the most contentious issues in South Africa right now is land reform. I think President Cyril Ramaphosa just appointed a commission of about 10 people, I believe, to study this issue. The thing is that in South Africa, over 70% of the land is owned by just 10% of the population. There's a lot of inequality, there's a lot of poverty, most of which is historical. And to solve these issues is not easy. There's going to be a lot of people fighting against any kind of reforms. The powers that be, the people that have vested interests, mostly those who are the landowners. And the challenge is on, the government of Cyril Ramaphosa to handle these very sensitively, again, to learn from the situation in Zimbabwe under Mugabe almost 2 decades ago. That experiment did not go right. Hopefully, this time around, they will have learned something from that, and that Ramaphosa and this commission that he has set up will come up with solutions to this land reform issue, land expropriation, as some have called it, that does not lead to violence or people fighting or, not happy. Obviously, not everybody will be happy, but at least hopefully there will be a middle ground where people feel like that there's been a pragmatic approach to this situation.
Speaking of a pragmatic approach, land distribution was a key component during the apartheid era. They talked about it, they made promises, but those promises were never kept. Today, we are talking about the same issue. Land is still predominantly owned by a lot of white people.
Absolutely. There's still a lot of inequality in South Africa. And inequality is a legacy of apartheid and colonialism in that country, something that has been afflicting that country for over 300 years, and not something that is not an issue that you're going to resolve in 1 year or 2 years or 3 or 4 years. So I think they've been making steps toward it. This is just part of that process. And hopefully they will find again that solution that where everybody is happy that we are doing what is in the best interest of the majority of the country, or everybody in the country.
How about those people who say that, for example, just trying to address the land issue is not going to solve the economic challenges that are faced by the country?
Absolutely. There are so many issues. I mean, land is a very big resource in any country. Being able to solve that is part of an equation. It's not the only factor, but I think being able to find a solution to the land issue, in essence, solves some of those other underlying issues of inequality.